Hello, everybody. Bobby Mitchell here again with Conscious Community Media. We are here to break through to break free. Your purpose is our passion, right? That's our slogan, right? And we're transforming leaders to transform the world. And that's a big, big statement. But you know what? We serve a big, big God. So I'm not worried about it whatsoever. And I'm very excited about our guests, actually part of our Conscious Community family. But many of you know Melanie, but you don't really know her, right? So we're excited to have her share. And believe me, this episode is going to be well worth your time. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. However you found us, we are grateful. And we promise you one thing: this content is free and it's here to help you transform. It's to help you reach the next level. It's for you to find, or if you know your purpose, to live your purpose. That is what we're here to do, and we're here for you. So make sure you click on the links below. Make sure you stay connected with the family and our community, because we have ongoing dialogue, ongoing training, ongoing access to information and video and workbooks and everything that you need, that we feel that can help you on your journey in this thing called life. So with that, again, thank you. I'm going to kick it off really fast because we've got some powerful stuff that's going to be shared today. This episode is for those of you that are really, really paying attention. It's going to change you. It's going to change you. And that's what life is about, right? Making some positive changes to fulfill your destiny, because God created you for a purpose, on purpose, right? That's there's no doubt about that. It's just a matter of, do you believe it? Have you accepted it? And have you stepped into your destiny, right? And part of what today is about is learning and hearing from someone that not only stepped into her purpose, not only living it, but actively sharing it and becoming fishers of men and fishers of women for a cause that is so amazing, that I'm just touched and honored to be able to call her a friend, a business partner, associate, and a conscious community member. But before we bring her on, I'm going to bring on the person that's responsible for allowing her to be part of our community, and my brother, like no other, Mr. Brian Bodenhamer. For those of you that are part of our community, you already know who he is. He brings incredible wisdom, incredible credibility, and experience in helping businesses, business owners build their community, help them expand and create their message. He's a John Maxwell coach, and I just have nothing but love and admiration for him. And he's been a great friend and a colleague. So, Brian, I know this is an exciting episode. We've got a lot of topics. I don't even know what we call this topic except life-changing topic. That's what today's topic is, about changing your life. So Brian, please, help us get things going with Melanie. And I know without you, we wouldn't even have Melanie part of our community. So thank you for being here and making time.
Yeah, thank you, Bobby. I personally, I get a little emotional when I get to introduce Melanie for this very reason. Uh, you guys have seen me talk about whys, and you find your why, you find your passion, you find your purpose. You get to use God's grace, you get to use God's gifts when you use your why and find those passions and purposes. And I've known this lady, oh gosh, over 10 years, one of my dearest friends. And, you talk about someone who knows their why they're on the face of the earth, and takes action to make sure she is following those passions. I can't think of someone better than Melanie. And like I said, I've known her for 10 years, and she is one of those just powerhouse. If you don't have your energy up by when you talk to her, you will by the time you walk out. So I am going to be brief and pass this over to Melanie. And Melanie, I'm excited to hear what you're going to say, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate it, and so nice to see your faces today, and to bring you some value. And certainly want to hear back from you. We're going to do a little Q&A at the end, so we don't want to forget about that. And so I hope that that this really resonates with your heart. And my heart actually started beating a little faster, just because of the passion and the purpose. Not out of nervousness. It's really just out of excited to share the message. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can everybody see that? Just give a thumbs up. Thank you. Perfect. Here we go. Okay, so Wild Heart Organization. We were founded in 2001. We are an official 501c3 by federal and state standards. Our mission is to shatter the silence of domestic violence by raising public awareness and funds to support victims and programs. Our focus is on education, prevention, and stopping the cycle of domestic violence. We're committed to connecting these pieces through networks of established programs and reload those programs and services to enhance efforts against domestic violence in our communities. And Wild Heart was born to make sure no one walks alone. Pulling back the curtain. It's 4:30 on a pale Thursday. To many, just like any other January day. A lady gets ready to spend quality time with her cousins and friends for the first time in a year and a half. How exciting it is to see old friends. It's been a battle to this point. Her husband has protested her leaving the house. She's 29 years old, a mother, and a business owner. How can he convince her, as he has so many times, to not go? You see, she's excited about seeing and sharing pictures of her husband and her kids and her embroidery business with her extended family and friends. This is like her little reunion. He's not okay with that. He's going to use any excuse he can to keep her home. She's not going to enjoy herself. Michelle has no time to take a shower from all the arguments. Matter of fact, she wears no makeup or perfume for fear of his ridiculous ridicule. Before this evening's over, he's going to run her off the road, stalk her wherever she goes, lie to her to get her home. And when she's on her knees and tears in her eyes, he's going to put a gun to her forehead and pull the trigger. This is how my sister was murdered by her husband. I'm Melanie Dawne, and this is my life-altering experience with domestic violence. The moments following this terrible act will shed its own form of tragedy. My little nieces, 2 little girls, will see their only mom they know like this. Michelle's baby of 9 months will suffer temporary deafness from the gunshot she was nearby and all the sirens. Michelle's family must be called. When the phone rang, the first thing I said was, we have to help others. So here's where we are. Just for a moment, close your eyes and think of your role. Are you a sibling? Are you a parent? Are you a child, a best friend? Maybe a boss or a mentor, an old high school friend. This kind of news, it hits hard. And so how does this show up in our community? And why is this even important? Check it out. The cost of domestic violence amounts to more than $37 billion with a B a year in law enforcement involvement, legal work, medical and mental health treatments, and the loss of productivity at companies. So do you think it's easier or harder for someone to concentrate at work and be productive if they have or are living in abuse or an abusive situation? And if you're in a leadership role, how do you lead through this? If you're the leader and you're helping someone, or if you're the leader and you still have to lead despite what you're going through. So let's just get the statistics and talk about it. Okay, suicide happens every 11 minutes. Check this out. Child abuse happens every 10 seconds. Every 9 seconds, domestic violence happens. This means in the US, a woman is assaulted or beaten. Every 9 seconds. So just looking at this, if domestic violence happens every 9 seconds, domestic violence is classified as older age group, right? Child abuse happens every 10 seconds. So is our problem getting better or worse as people get older? 1.5 million high school students in the US reportedly being hit, slapped, kicked, punched, physically hurt by a boyfriend or girlfriend in the last 12 months. Now, I would submit to you, since we've had COVID and the coronavirus, people have been isolated, right? I would submit to you that those numbers are higher. We have not seen the most recent statistics on that yet. But if you think about it, that's 4,000 students a day in our schools across the country. 171 students every hour. Check this out. 3 students every 60 seconds. The number one reason for police and officer fatality or injury in the line of duty is because of domestics. Think about it. They're going into an environment, it's about power and control. They're going into a controlled environment by said person that is abusing. Are they at advantage or at a disadvantage, not knowing where the corners are in the house, where's the weapons, right? We just don't talk about it. We've got to talk about it. Also, the number one reason for injury in young boys and teenagers. Why? Protecting their mothers. And half of all homeless women and children in the US are fleeing from domestic violence. These statistics also filter into those that get involved with human trafficking. So we're hitting on all cylinders. So what do we need to do, right? Okay, well, what is it and what types of abuse? So we're just going to go through this for educational purposes for all those that are participating here or get to find us. When someone in a relationship insults, hits, tries to control, basically bottom line is power and control. The use of control tactics, threats of abuse, and here's the list of types of abuse. Most people think physical, but think about the mental, the verbal, the emotional. I had a client just tell me the other day, she's been out, we got her out of her situation 13 years ago. She said, Mel, the bruises heal, but I still hear him in my head. Of course, you have sexual abuse, financial abuse, digital cyber abuse, and social abuse. These are where our bullying pieces are coming from. And that's also increasing that rate of suicide that we talked about earlier. Because if somebody, think about it, if somebody's bullying someone, is that the only person they're bullying? So, and then this is a pattern of behavior. So it can be the same behavior or it can be different behaviors. But again, it's all centered around power and control and those tactics to keep somebody in control. So let's flip it on its head. Types of abuse. What other types of abuse do we have? So check it out. Again, think of our roles. Jump me off. There we go. Child abuse. We have partner abuse, dating abuse, parented child abuse. I had no idea that adolescent boys are actually like pinched, kicked, abused by their mothers. It's really alarming. I just spoke to a mental health professional that mental health profession for the last 25 years. So we're coming up with some other things here to add. But then child to parent. I mean, how many aggressive kids, right? So we got sibling abuse, of course. Animal abuse is a big indicator that there's a problem in the home. And does anyone in a leadership role abuse power? Because really, we've got to get past the abuse part, right, and understanding that, and need to get to how do we lead through this? How do we help people? So Wild Heart, what do we do? So the three main pieces are we meet people where they're at. Direct crisis intervention. I've rescued families and driven them across state lines to take them to a family member's house that they did not know. Not everybody needs to go to shelter, but they deserve a new beginning. So what does that look like? So we've done, alarm systems for families. We've helped them with the deposit to move. We've helped them move. There's a whole host of things there. But we work with all the shelters, agencies, and programs in whatever area that people are, because we get referrals from all over the country. But I've had some world cases that were pretty astronomical. So that's that piece. Educating youth, tweens, teens on healthy relationships. We know how to have bad relationships, but what's the language around a good one? And we've specifically targeted high school sophomores because freshmen, we found, they're still trying to figure out where the bathroom's at, like where their classes are, okay? But in the juniors and seniors, we've just gotten really cool, right? So if we can plant some seeds at sophomores and they know the red flags and the warning signs, and they have learned now, have some tools to be able to nurture healthy relationships, then they can carry that on. Now we're stopping the cycle. And then new beginnings, empowering for self-sufficiency, money matters, building a future. A lot of times, those that we work with, they've been either isolated or financially abused. Their self-esteem is knocked down because they haven't been able to work. All kinds of things. So we really encapsulate, what does that new beginning look like? And then we pull together resource and pieces to make that happen. So here's, I love this, and I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I have like just piles and piles, but this is from speaking to high school students and just some of the things that they say, because I ask easy questions like, has this information helped you? Yes or no? And so, yes. What did you like best? That you were so open, you helped me relate to my situation and situations that you spoke about. What did you learn about healthy relationships? That it takes two to make a healthy relationship. What else would you like to know? How I can play a bigger role in helping people. This is our youth, guys. But we want to hear from them, right? Okay, has this information helped you? Yes. Knowing that my father was really abusive and he has been guilt tripping me and my mother since we escaped a year ago. What did you learn about healthy relationships? Support, trust each other. She says, bless her heart, she says, I can share my story and observations seeing my dad's actions. Has this information helped you? Yes. What did you like? Everything we talked about today. So I could go on and on and on, but I want to share with you that that's the kind of impact we're having. So my question is, how many great leaders are hiding behind locked doors? What are we going to do to reach them? Partly what we're doing. We're educating, but then we're also giving the tools, how to. And then now we have the opportunity to build them up and help them be a healthy leader that comes from a place of delivering for their community, for their companies, for their businesses they develop. I have some other articles here on power and control of CEOs. We'll skip that for right now. Here's things that we've done, but really, it's not about what we've done. It's about what we're going to do. And I'm here playing wide open because, like I said, when I got the phone call, I said, we have to help others. It was the first thing I said. So with that, I appreciate all of you. I certainly would love to hear your feedback. If there's anything additional you'd like to know, you want me to include it in the presentation. We're talking about having some awesome impact and making a huge difference in our communities and building up our leaders and future leaders that we haven't found yet. Thanks, guys. I appreciate your time.
So make sure if you obviously watch that powerful information. I've said this a couple days ago to you, Melanie. The amount of courage and commitment and faith and everything that it took to not only weather the storm as a family of what you had to go through, but to be able to turn that into an organization that is now a legacy that's far beyond your sister. But it was obviously inspired by tragedy, but now it's gone to become a way where we can make the world better, right? And I think there's not a human being watching this or will watch this that doesn't want that to happen. And there's a lot of problems out there in the world, but what we're here as CCM is to talk about solutions. And you obviously have a powerful message. So with that, those of you that watch this, make sure you click on the link to the website. If you want to donate money, if you want to get more information, get on the mailing list, be part of our community, as we will be featuring this nonprofit in future events to raise awareness as well as funds. So thanks very much for Brian for introducing us to Melanie, and thank you, Melanie, for just everything you bring. You are on fire, and it's amazing to meet human beings like you. It's inspirational to meet human beings like you, and we all have a lot to learn from human beings like you. And thank you for you answering the call from God to fulfill your purpose and passion, no matter how it was inspired. So God bless you, and thank you for participating today. We hope you got value out of that. Please connect with us, click on the links, follow the community, and we'll be back at you with another powerful episode of Breakthrough to Break Free. Take care, guys. God bless, and we'll see you soon.